Like, yeah. So I gotta make things like simple and effective. I can't like overcomplicate things because it just won't get anywhere. So I want to. What reason I'm doing the cement? Because I have to, instead of like. It's gonna be expensive if I buy a bunch of sonotubes and like pour the thing. Also, I live where it's cold, so I have to wait till like April. It's like December right now to pour, because like cement doesn't, concrete, whatever, doesn't like curing and like under 4 degrees Celsius. It makes it less strong. So if I make these things inside, there's this old part of the trailer, so I'm gonna rip apart, which I'm probably gonna use because the floor needs to go anyway. So it doesn't matter if I make a big mess. So to make precast, basically make a little factory so I can do everything to make a house, you know, relatively do it yourself, and just, you know, get upgrade pretty much the way I live. So I have stability and get like a little factory so I can make things. That's the goal anyway. So, because it's like the more you can like industrialize as a person, the more up the food chain you are, to a large extent, and like not just pushing like money around, but actually having like wealth generated. So manufacturing is good for that, and also we need manufacturing more and more than ever because we have so much automation going on. So I want to go and make backhoes because I live in a place where there's mountains. There's a lot of like wilderness, and people, there's no like big manufacturer of heavy equipment. I live in like British Columbia, and that's kind of crazy. How people can live in like, I think it's quite one hell of a thing to start a heavy equipment company from scratch. I think that's the big deterrent, but I think it's necessary. We have iron, a shit ton of iron. Like I think it's like 1/8 of the surface of the Earth is the crust is iron. We have a lot of iron, so you know. It just seems like, I don't know, it's like I always had an interest as well for like heavy equipment, also like tanks and stuff. So I have this idea for like a kind of like a multi-purpose 6-wheeled slash put tracks over it, like a skid steer, like a thing. So I just gotta go and make little mini backhoes from it, because you know, round lawnmowers have basically like enough horsepower to be like a little mini excavator. In fact, actually, like a medium-sized excavator, like a smaller one, or whatever. Like the smallest big excavator, if it makes any sense. There's only like 4 times more horsepower than like a right-on lawnmower with like 15 horsepower, which is like big. You know, the smallest big excavator, which is, you know, full cab, big boom. You know, enough to do a lot of work. It's like 60 horsepower or 55 horsepower. Backhoes are around that too. You know, which is like not a lot of horsepower. So, you know, I think I'm basically turning like little round lawnmowers into little miniature backhoes, and do it like efficiently, not just like make one really awesome, but just try to find. I'm gonna have to Mad Max it, I think, to make the mini backhoes effectively. You have to do like a lot of used stuff. I think like hydraulics are gonna be one thing I'm gonna have to really mess around with, and welding. I'm gonna probably end up making trailers as well. There's a lot of things I'm gonna have to really get myself involved with, too, because I think I can do it. That's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I can go and do this. Like, I have the skill set, and the mindset to do it. I just need to go and like set myself up so I can be established. And then kind of just make stuff that's useful, you know? Because a lot of people, like, what type of business gotta do? What is useful, you know? What do people really need? Like, I live in the mountains and stuff, so people need like roads. A lot of people don't have access. People don't have access to cars either. Like, there's like this cheap car. It's like it's like $7,000. It's a Lada over in like basically Russia. It's former Soviet Union places, and like it's affordable car. It's durable. It's not like amazing, but it's durable. It's accountable. It's cheap. Anyone can get one. But it's not like that over in North America. A lot of people are getting priced out in North America, so instead of like just complaining about it, I want to go and do something about it. So I think manufacturing is a great way to actually, you know, do that, because you have direct control over like the ability for people to live. I've always been looking at the world where people are not having the opportunity to live properly. There's like 6 needs people have. Like, you need water, food, shelter, and also you need opportunity. You know, you can't just punch someone in an ocean. You need dignity, so people can trust you and you can trust them. Like, your life is valuable. And you need community. You know, the opportunity to trade and have diplomatic relations and stuff like that. And just, you know, have a regular life. To live with people, you know. So it's like the big shortcoming in like North America is housing. It's too expensive, especially where I live, where it's being priced too much. Like, people can't, like how we normally build a house is that it's all like done by hand, and that's really inefficient. Like, the most what's the word? Like, the most expensive part of like housing, for example, is the labor. Like, the materials are like almost like, you know, they're not nothing, but they're much cheaper compared to labor. I think a government has a potential to, or even a well-run corporation, to have the ability to house a lot of people and like have like a big industrial scale to do it. So you have like a vertical integration. You can save money, and that money will be like put into efficiencies. So you can build more things. Like kind of what the Soviet Union was doing before they got all corrupt, and it wasn't a very good system to begin with, the Soviet Union, but like it was kind of like just really inefficient. It had a lot of it, so it worked. But I don't know. So I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to like make myself so I can, you know, on an individual scale, I can battle back some of the problems that like locally. Like, it's much easier to run a city than to run yourself, because you have to do everything yourself, and for a city, just get someone else to do it for you. So yeah. So I guess this is bedrock, I guess. Oh, I guess this is a cave, I suppose. Huh. Neat. So, but yeah, it's so I'm gonna try to go and build actually useful things. Like, I don't know. Electric cars are good and all, but like, I don't know. They seem to, like, Tesla and everyone else doesn't really care about making China wants to make a cheap car. But I was like, China wanted to do that, and like Tesla just kind of went along with it. But I think there's a definite need. There's a big gap I see going on with people. Like, you're born into debt in North America. If you're not like extremely smart and able to like make a coding business, you know, like to automate things, you're basically kind of screwed. You're kind of, there's no more union stuff because it doesn't make any sense, because robots don't need unions, and $2 an hour doesn't need. It's like, I'm trying to figure out how you can run like North America, like where I live, and you know, the developed world, for example, without needing like slave labor, pretty much, to make it work. Because right now it's not sustainable, because China has got like, doesn't want to be slave labor anymore. You know, good for them, and they're getting out of that. But it's like you need like someone to lose, basically. Someone's got to work for nothing, and some rich guy's got to own the factory. And this is the current system we have. It's not like sustainable. So I think the big solution there is automation, and vertical integration, where you do everything yourself. Like Sweden, for example, they can do everything. They have a small population, they manufacture everything they need. They have their own car company. They have their own car companies. They can manufacture their own jets and stuff like that, the space, stuff like that. They have everything they need. They can do it domestically, like locally. Canada is kind of like this place where people just, I don't know, like big companies go here and they just take the resources and like do it very inefficiently. And there's so much of Canada though that it keeps on ticking, but it's like, I don't know, like, well then. Okay, there we go. So it's like there's a problem where people aren't like working in the woods, for example. When you don't like thoroughly go over an area to get all the wood out, you just go over like the easy stuff, like the big easy less work stuff. It's called creaming. You cream it out. So this is what we're doing in Canada. We're basically creaming out Canada. We're not actually like developing our people, because the most valuable thing we have at the end of the day, especially in like a developing nation, is the people itself with education. So I think there needs to be like a new way to live, basically, that starts with not like your emotions of like this should be like this and that because I feel like this, but like thinking how like objectively how to solve like things from like an engineering standpoint, you know, because there's also like there's an emotional intelligence to things that's also, you know, you could explain that also with, you know, the health of a brain, right? The health of a human being is complicated, but I think there's a lack of engineering people in politics and in life in general, because it's quite hard to solve all the problems of life at once. Like that's basically, if you can do that, you create a new world, you know, a new age of wonder, I guess, or you make like a new way to live that's it's like you obsolete things, and then, you know, if they succeed, like when tractors came about, that obsoleted a lot of like hand labor and freed up time people to go into cities and stuff like that. It was different. So it's, again, if you can find a way to get those 6 basic needs more efficiently, so more people can live, more people will live. Because right now, a lot of people who are poor, who don't actually have like access to the global market, who can exploit, like, you know, poor people, they end up being poor themselves, and they don't have kids because they literally can't exist, because they get like exhausted, and they don't have kids and feel bad. And people don't have kids because they're too poor and they don't grow. So Canada is kind of getting around this by importing people who have wealth in their own country, basically slave labor countries, or very close to it, and they come here to Canada like after they made money. A lot of the time, it's not always like that, but a lot of the time there's like people that it's people who are importing. So, but I think there's a big potential though.